Jdub and how he slipped to 12, because you were saying kind of like he's maybe unconventionally athletic.
Well, with Jdub, I think you have to look at it in a couple different ways. And I'll be straight up honest with you. If you're comparing Jdub to some of these other players that, and typically go above a 12 spot, you're not going to be like, oh, Jdub's this amazing, talented player. You know what I'm saying? You're going to look at Jdub and be like, oh, he's got a long road to go. But if you look at Jdub as his own identity, and you're not comparing him to anybody else, and you're just taking him as face value, it changes everything, man. And I think that's what, for me, I got to keep on saying over and over and over again, is it's important for us as Oklahoma City Thunder fans to realize who we have,
Yeah.
and what we have. And we have Jdub, who I would consider really a top 5 24 and under player. And if you think about how many 24 and under players there are out there, and the fact that you're saying that Jdub has that it factor already, it's difficult. I mean, it really is, because I sat there and I was like, well, would I rather Ant? Would I rather this player? Would I rather that player? And it took me a while to go through some of these players, but the reality is that what Jdub showed us in the first year and how he developed in that first year is elite status. I mean, it truly is elite. Like I sat back and I was like, okay, when's the last time I saw a player like this develop this quickly? Like he developed into a 20-point player a game by the end of the season. I mean, think about that. Like how many players as rookies have been able to go and start off a little slow, earning their minutes, and all of a sudden pop on the scene at 20 points a game because of his matchups, because you can't stick your best defender on him. You can't stick your second best defender on him. You can't, what I'm saying? You've got so many other good players on this Thunder team that are young that you've got to stick your third or fourth best player on Jdub, on defender. And Jdub takes advantage of that shit. This next year, he's not going to get that. He's going to get the second best defender. How he's going to be able to approach that, let me tell you what he's done. Tons. Look at his body, guys. He has put a ton of work in to making sure that he is ready and ready to go. And I think that's why it's so important for us to understand Jdub is ready to take that step for the next level. And how quickly that step is going to be, it's going to be crazy. So, Lovan, what's up, man? Good morning. Van.
Love him.
Lovan.
I don't
Levan.
know. I love it. Hey, so
Love
you brought
Vans.
up Anthony Edwards, okay? And let's just be real right now. There's a lot of Anthony Edwards hype going on right now. Ant is good. He's very good. He's very aggressive. He's very athletic.
I mean, he played Russ. He played Shea amazing on defense, in the playoff game that we played. What's up, Robert?
Okay. But this is the first time I've heard anybody bring it up. What's up, Robert? But let's talk about this, dude. Let's talk about the idea that maybe Jdub and Ant are comps for their careers. Now, right now, I think everybody would say Ant has the
I think
advantage.
that's an insult for Jdub, bro.
Okay.
I am sorry. Ant is good, but Jdub is going to be the player, right? Ant will always be like Andrew Wiggins is to Carmelo Anthony. I'm sorry. I can't see Ant being a better player in the long run than Jdub. I just can't. It would have to be a fucking cold day in hell.
Okay, but what about Ant having more space to operate, and maybe getting to average 27 a game?
I'm sorry. I mean, even at 27 a game, his defense is going to have to be so elite to be able to stay up with Jdub. If he's able to score 27 a game and he's a top 5 defender in the league, right? Then I think that you can say they're comparable players. But he would have to do that for a long period of time, not just 2 years. There's so many players in the league that show up and they're amazing for 2, 3, 4 years. And just a blimp. And they, people say what you want. I understand people are going to be you're stupid, Dave, but Damian Lillard, they show up on the scene. They're amazing for a few years, but if they were amazing for 12 to 14 years, they'd be known as one of the greats. But they never can combine 2 or 3 or 4, 5 good seasons in a row. And that's what I look about Ant. It's like, yeah, he might be able to put 3, 4 good seasons in a row. Cool. But he'll never have that longevity that J-Dub's going to be able to have because the way that we're going to take care of J-Dub's legs, because of the way we're going to take care of his health. You know, the amount of players we have on our bench, you know, Ant is going to be forced to go play out there 35 plus minutes a game, 37 plus minutes a game, you know, and that's what he's going to be forced to do. And he might enjoy that, and that's cool. But when he gets, you know, year 8, year 9, he's pretty worn down because the rest of the NBA is on a different level of resting their guys.
So he's 21. So you think by the time he should be entering his prime, he could be in the back half already?
Dude, it's all about usage, man. Like players like him, right? That are so physical, that rely on the physicality and being above the rim like that. Like they're good for a few years. They shine bright, bro. They shine bright, like fucking bright for a couple years. But then after that, it kind of like settles, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, yeah." I mean, think about Andrew Wiggins, man. Like how many years has he shined bright for? He's, you know, I would say about 4 years of his career, right?
Yeah, it's probably
Okay,
fair.
so like again, maybe 5 years, but you know, like that's good. You know, that's good to be known as a all-star player, as a championship caliber player, like all that other stuff. That's cool, man. But that's not what we're talking about, J Dub, man. We're not talking about 1, 2, 3, 4 all-star. You know, that's not J Dub. I mean, J Dub's going to be something like uniquely special because defensive minded set, the way he's put on weight, and it's good weight. It's not shitty weight. He's fast as fuck. He rises above everybody. I mean, the things that J Dub can do is so fucking elite. Like, people aren't going to be like, oh, yeah, in 25 years, Ant was an unbelievable player. People would be like, well, Ant was good for those few years that he was good for. But people would be like, J Dub? No. J Dub changed the game. J Dub changed the game. And that's how J Dub will be known as. Because think about the way he plays defense.
Okay.
And is offensive minded. Back doors, up above the air. He can shoot threes. He can get to the middle of the floor and pull up on jumpers. And then on the defense, he can take the best offensive player, and shut him down because of his long ass arms. He doesn't have to play this incredibly physical aspect on defense every single time. And that saves a player like J Dub. You know, Ant relies on that physical aspect of defense. And how long is that good until you tear an ACL or you tear a back? I shouldn't say that because people get mad at me, right? But you tear something in your back or something like that because, you know, like physicality, that's how I was. I was a physical athlete. I played football and basketball. I mean, I went at people's throats. I went hard all the time. And what happened? I tore my ACL twice playing basketball. And that's what happens. Like you can play that high end physicality and that's cool, but you're going to get hurt. So J Dub has that physical minded aspect. And when he needs to in that fourth quarter, he'll pull that out. But he doesn't need to play that all the time. And he's still an elite defender. It's effortless defense that makes J Dub so spectacular. And we can talk about the greats of the game and how they're able to go, you know, score 20 plus points or 30 points a game, right? And then play the spectacular top 5 defense. Okay. Out of all the players on our team, there's only 2 players that I would consider that have that ability to do it. And I'll just say J Dub is one of those players. He has the ability to be a top 5 defender, right? And he has the ability to score 27 to 30 points a game. I mean, like, what else do you guys want? I mean, like, that is an elite player. If you can do that consistently, that's the key. And that's why I think J-Dub will be able to be known as one of the great players of this generation when he's all said and done putting his work together. I believe in J-Dub. I believe in J-Dub, and I would bet on his you know, cards and all that other stuff, guys. Like, if you guys listen to me and you collect cards, okay, Shea's card is going to be valuable one day, no doubt. Second card I would start collecting is J-Dub. And I know Chet's out there, guys. I know that. But J-Dub is that piece that everybody's going to look back and say, J-Dub was Scotty to Michael, man. Shea and Michael. I mean, like, seriously. Like, you cannot win championships without a player like J-Dub nowadays.
Robert wants to know if J-Dub will make at least the third team NBA defense next year.
Listen, I don't think a year 2 player I say that, but
It's too much about reputation.
it really is, because think about it. Dort is his first year, right, as an all defensive team this year, as a third team, I think it was, second team,
Did
whatever
he
it
make
was.
an all defensive team? I don't remember.
I thought this year he did, or maybe it's whatever. It doesn't fucking matter.
Doesn't fucking matter, guys.
If he didn't, it was the year before. I don't know.
Who fucking
I
cares?
could have sworn Dort has one all defensive team on this thing. But think about that. If Dort doesn't have any, then that means that Jdub is going to have to be so much better than Dort on defense. And you think about Dort, and he broke records for, the offensive moving screens and all that other stuff. Like, you're going to have to be really fucking elite. Now, Dort, I believe, will be an all defensive team this next year because of all the love he's been getting for getting around the screens and all that other stuff. He's going to be an all defensive team. I think he'll be a second or third. But to say Jdub at this point, I think it's going to be another year. I think year 3 would be his year, I think. So next year.
Well, we asked the question yesterday about who will lead the NBA in blocks. And at least all the Thunder fans listening to us feel like it's going to be Chet.
You see how I did that right there, by the way, though? I did it by age, first of all. I did Anthony, who led it last year, and Embiid was second, right? And then I did our young guys, the two youngsters coming up, like the two best young defensive players, in my opinion. So
do you think Chet has a chance for all defense team if he leads the league in blocks and stuff like that?
Oh, listen, that's what you have to do, man. Like I've learned this from Dort. If you're not a top 5 steal getter, no matter how you impact the game, if you're not a top 5 steal getter, you're not going to get a lot of respect from the voting. If you're not a top, 3 shot blocker, you're not going to get a lot of votes. But if you're the top shot blocker in the league, you're going to get so much love. I mean, people are going to be like, vote, 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 vote. Like Chet is going to gobble up votes the second he starts playing well. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. Chet will start getting a ton of votes, because when people start seeing, like stats, like eye-popping stats, like anytime a rookie puts up like 5 to 8 blocks, it's an eye-popping stat. You're like, whoa, he did what? But Chet's going to be doing more than that. I think Chet is going to have those games where he's going to have, one time down, someone's going to come down the lane, he's going to swat that. They're going to get the rebound. They're going to go back up again, he's going to swat it. Then somebody else is going to get the rebound. They're going to go right at Chet, and Chet's going to swat them. I mean, he's going to get 4 or 5 blocks in one possession. And that's just the way he plays defense, because he's able to get up so quickly and move so quickly within side of that, whether it's physical contact or whatever. Like, I'm serious. Like, when you see these guys that are able to literally shut down the lane completely from people coming in, like, I mean, I remember Marcus Camby, and I know people are, Marcus Camby, but listen, Marcus Camby shut the fucking lights down. Anybody coming in that lane, you can say, I mean, you can talk about the great defenders, Akeem Olajuwon, like they shut down the lane when people came. People were afraid of going into there, like I look at a player like Patrick Ewing and I kind of laugh, but his physical aspect that he brought to the table, he was slow, but he was physical, like to me, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, when Chet is all said and done, he's going to be known as one of the best defenders in the league. And that could be year 1, that could be year 2. But it's going to be very quickly, very, very quickly. I mean, there's not NBA greats talking about Chet right now unless he's great. I mean, think about, LeBron James talking it, he's not a great, but Patrick Beverley. I mean, you could go down the list of players that are taking time out of their day to start talking about Chet. Why? I mean, it's because they all know what we know. This is not a normal player. I mean, his defense is going to be killer. He's not going to be forced to, take a lot of shots his rookie year. He'd be forced about creating his own stuff by offense rebounds and getting the ball, and at the top of the key and getting to the hole. Like, he's not going to be leaned on the offensive game, and he can focus on that defensive aspect. And that's what's exciting, because there's not a lot of players that can do that.
So Chet's overall game we watched in the summer league really be offensively be predicated on just offensive ball movement, getting a defensive rebound, putting the ball on the floor, and everybody just like running up the court so he can play point guard in that set. But then when the offense is set up, the ball flows through him, the ball goes side to side, and then he's going to kind of attack as the shot clock wears on. I'm a big fan of the way Chet plays the game on the offensive end, well, and defensive. But like for offense, what we see so often with the Thunder is just like the ball moves so freely, right? And then you see a guy like Chet come in summer league, and he shows that he understands what that means when he's probably sometimes out in the court the only guy that might make the team, right? So I can't really think of that many times where that was the case, but it could have been, right? Like he was definitely the only one who's going to start, and except for that one time Jdub was out there, right?
Yeah.
But like then I think like for him to be so unselfish in that environment, like that out of that summer league, there's only a handful of guys who will really have a chance to be in the league in 10 years.
Yeah.
And when he's like, I'm not here for me, I'm here for everybody else. And then the offense flows through him in the right type of way, and he puts up 20 a couple of games.
Yeah.
You're like, well, why couldn't he do that in the league? Like, I feel like this is going to sound stupid. Okay.
Sure.
Ignorant.
This is the place to sound stupid, man.
Right. But I honestly feel like the defense was tougher in the summer league for Chet than the league, because I think with the NBA, he's going to be left in a spot where there isn't as much help. But every time Chet went to put the ball on the floor, he had every guy digging, because they just knew, like, help off of your guy. Don't let Chet go to his thing. You're not going to help off of Shea.
Well, this is where I disagree. People are going to dig on Chet every single time.
Yeah, but are they going to help off of people to dig?
Well, but this is where I think that they will. I think they're going to put fire. They're going to make Chet. They're going to make Chet beat him with the pass. And I think that's what's going to happen for the first 10, 15 games. They're going to be like, let's see if Chet can beat us with the pass. Right?
Do you think they're going to double him? They're not going to double him.
I think anytime he touches the ball, that he puts the ball on the floor, I think people are going to collapse on him. Okay. They're going to try to stop him immediately, because they're going to look at it as their weakness, right? Because what I saw in the summer league was that same exact attack mentality. They're not going to stop that. You know why? Because they're going to make Chet beat him. And the second that Chet learns how to pass over top, or pass the double team, or dribble this way or dribble that way to get around them, it's over. And then they'll stop having to do that. They'll have to go to the next theory of the way to stop Chet. But Chet is going to have to prove them wrong in every single scenario.
You don't think they're going to leave him on an island?
They might for certain players. I think certain players are going to leave him on the island. I think certain players are going to, but Chet's going to be coming down the middle of the lane. He's going to be coming in the top of the key when he runs down, Like when he does that, there's always going to be a second player around. Always. You can't spread out enough to stop it when he's coming down, catching the ball, the top of the key, and then, cutting to the hole. Like there's always going to be somebody around. So okay,
so if you're Chet's coach, okay,
yes,
and you're like Chet, you can't dribble 3 times. You got one dribble.
But Chet can do 2 dribbles and dunk the ball from the 3-point line. So
right, but like, okay, so say you're in that spot though where he's driving, right? Perimeter, he puts up a shot fake, which is so convincing. Like when we were watching the game, every time I'd be like, oh, and Chet shoots. No, man, he didn't shoot. I would fall for the shot fake every time. So he puts the ball on the ground, right? And he drives past his guy. Now the team's digging, right? The team is coming at him, and they want to get him before he goes into a shot. Chet a lot of times at that point will go into the post, right? And then go into a post move, which might take a third or a fourth dribble. I don't think he gets those. I think he's in the league, he's got to be 1 to 2 dribbles, and take the shot or make the pass.
If I'm his coach, I'm saying I want you to be able to make your move within one dribble.
Right.
And this seems bad, but as a rookie, like, how anybody that's played hoops or any sports at all understands what I'm about to say. Freshmen don't fucking talk. Freshmen don't fucking talk. They sit there, they observe. They don't talk in the locker room, try to create jokes or anything else like that, because it's stupid. They sit there, right? And they be quiet. Like rookies, it's that mentality. You've got to get over that hump. Like Chet, Jdub. I mean, Jdub, we watched him get over that hump. Like, to me, like, I know how great Chet can be, but you still got to get over that hump, bro.
So let's talk about like Dirk. Dirk is similar size, different build, but let's talk about his game.
Look at Dirk when he was first drafted. Tell me there's a different build.
Right, well, we'll say different defensive mindset. We'll go
Dude, he was so skinny. Skinny.
So Dirk early in his career shot a ton of threes.
Yeah.
And,
It was horrible too, bro.
I mean, he wasn't that bad, was he?
I thought it was like shitty, but whatever.
Okay, so then you go on and you fast forward to his MVP year, the year they go on to win the finals. Like those two, that wasn't the same year, I don't think, but those 2 years, we watched his game and it had evolved.
Sure.
And it was inside the arc. He was a killer, like almost in the same spots, but getting it to it in different ways than a player like Paul Pierce, right? Like the inside the arc, and like all of a sudden seeing Dirk shoot a three was like rare. It was like, and then the announcers started being like, a lot of people don't know he used to shoot a lot of threes, and it was like, why doesn't he anymore? And you're saying because he sucked. I think it was because
he shot 20% from three his rookie year.
Okay, but going on, what percentage did he shoot?
He ended up pretty much going 37%, 38%, 39%, and then he got up to the 40s later in his career. But, his first year.
How many shots per game did he shoot in like his first, second, third year as far as threes?
Attempts was 1.4 a year his first year. His second was 3.7. And then he went up to close to 5 for most of the rest of his career.
It's funny because we're like, oh, he shot a lot of threes. 5 wouldn't be a lot of threes anymore. Like, and now
1.4, but 1.4 was a lot of threes for a rookie, though.
It was, and now people would be like, oh my gosh, like we gotta get him shooting 7, 8. He's that good of a shooter at that size. Because if you can shoot 40%, like you should be a volume shooter. Well, but the game is different, man. It was just different. You didn't play that way.
I still think that we have a number of players that are going to shoot above 36% from threes. If we want to go through who I think there's going to shoot above 36%
I think we could have
threes,
7, honestly.
Let's go through it, man. Jdub is going to lead. Isaiah Joe is going to lead. I think Shea, even though he's not going to take a lot, I think he's going to shoot above 36%. I think Dort is going to be the surprise this year. He's going to shoot above 36%. And every year I say this, and every year I'm like, but I do believe that Dort's going to be there. I do think that Jdub can shoot above 36%. Who else, Mark? Kenny Hustle. It's 5.
Jay Will shot very well last year.
I do think that Josh Giddey, Jay Will, Josh Giddey, JRE.
Here's the thing about Josh.
And Blake is saying Kaysen. So, again, we might have 10 players that can shoot 47%, 46%, 46%.
I like Kaysen shot a lot. I would say Kaysen is going to have a chance to do some special stuff for us. Josh,
he's a sniper, bro.
Josh, this is really his first, off season with Chip. Like he had last off season where he worked with Chip some, but Chip didn't really want to touch things going into the season. It was just like, let's get to know each other.
40%, bro.
Repetition.
Josh is going to shoot 40% this year because here's the thing: is that he's not going to be required to find and get his own 3-point shot. He's going to be required to shoot the open shot. That's it. That's what makes me pumped, dude. Is that Josh is not going to be like, oh, he has to find his own 3-point shot. It's like, no. Josh, you just shoot it when you're open, man, because the ball's going to find your hands 3 times a game for an open 3-point shot. Seriously, man. This offense, the way it's run, Shea gets the ball on the right side, right? And he cuts to the middle of the lane with his left hand hard, right? Gets a foot in the lane and passes the ball. The next person catches the ball and they cut to their right, to the middle of the lane. Get a foot in the lane, maybe 2 feet in the lane. Bro, it's in 5 seconds. We've got the ball. 2 people already touched the ball. 3 people already touched the ball. And it's fast. Boom, 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 boom. And then we're setting screens away. We're having guys fade. We're having guys go back door. We're having alley-oops available. There's going to be wide open threes everywhere. That's why you need Isaiah Joe. That's why you need these guys. That's why we spent millions of dollars to get Chip here. It's because we know in order for us to win championships, we need to be able to shoot 40% from 3-point range. As a team. We got to do things that are unheard of for teams to be able to look at us and be like, oh my God, this is not good. They can attack the whole Frisch's horrible people, and then all of a sudden pop up for threes and hit 10 and before you even know what's going on. I mean, think about this, guys. How many times did we see last season this team hit 10 threes before the third quarter was over? You know, it's like, holy shit. Like, this team can go from 0 to 60 like nobody's business.
Yeah.
And it's just going to get better because these guys are going to start hitting, even if they up, each one of them ups their percentages by 3% this off year, right? Which is like 10% of their total shooting for most of them. 3%. That's going to put us a massive chunk of guys in that 36 to 40% range. Massive chunk.
Yeah, it's because we shoot the shots. Like, we are shooting threes like crazy. Like, we are always up there in the top of the league as many 3-point shots as we get.
So many, man.
That's been Mark Daigneault's one of his biggest improvements, I think. And now it's about, what do we do with those shots? You know, year over year improvement is important. And then bringing in new players like Blake saying, Kaysen and Micic. Micic.
Dude, listen.
Here's the thing about Micic I want to say before, like, you go. Like, I think he could be a player like that, except for one thing. We'll see how it works out. But, like, if you watch his highlights from EuroLeague, he didn't really shoot a ton of threes. But, man, he hunted the end of shot clock, end of quarter clock, end of games. He was never one of those people who would just not shoot the ball, you know, and they didn't want to hurt their shooting percentage. So it's like, if he's like seriously hunting his shot at these like buzzer beater situations, it might hold his percentage down, but it doesn't mean that he's not like overall like above 36% when the ball finds him in the offense. It just means that, you know, you might shoot 3 bad shots a game as far as bad for your percentage, but your team needs you to shoot them because you're one of those guys that seek out the hot potatoes. You don't shy for them.
Yeah. And I want to be clear on this. If Dort gets injured or we have an opportunity where Dort's not going to be on this team anymore for whatever reason, Micic is, in my opinion, proven that he deserves that starting position. And that's where we get that position. Because Micic, in my opinion, could be if he comes out shooting even like 35% from 3, and the way that he gets the hole, the way he passes the ball, the way his knowledge is on defense, right? I mean, he could be a top 25 player in the league. I mean, and it's crazy even saying that. I have to like sit there and like, really, do you think maybe top 25 in the West? But my point about that is that if he is as good as I think he could be in the league, then we're looking at a player that is going to be the true 6th man of this team unless something happens to a Dort or a Jdub or whatever. And then he's going to take over that starting position. He's not going to give it back. I mean, he's not. He's one of those guys that if you give him, you know, a cookie, he's going to ask for a glass of milk. God damn it. That's the kids, man. That's the kids one right there from you. So anybody that reads those books, the kids' books, if you give a mouse a cookie, no. Okay. Never mind. You need to read books with your kids, man. Mouse.
No. We're good. I just, usually you say perverted things. So I was like,
I know.
I was like thinking about like, this is not disgusting. What is wrong?
No. It's not. Definitely not. But it's, I was reading a book with my kids the other day, and for whatever reason, that analogy came up to my mind. But Mr. is just somebody that you give him anything, he's just going to take it over and he's going to make it his. And I want that from a player off of our bench. You know, you have Kenny Hustle already there, but you have a player that truly is an NBA, it could be an NBA, you know, top 10 hybrid player in the league, top 25 hybrid player in the league. You got to see what they can do. You know, like his pay is really good for the next couple of years. I think we have him on a 3-year salary. You know, like, just roll the dice on this, man. See what happens. If we can make it work, then we score because we get a player that's going to be elite and we get the rights to him.
One time there's this mouse that was like kept picking up the crumbs that I dropped and like it wasn't afraid of me.
Yeah.
So I gave it a little cookie with some LSD in there.
Shouldn't say this out loud.
Where, dude? That mouse was speaking in tongues by the end, dude.
Oh my god, crazy.
Dude. It was I could hear it in the walls, dude.
Man, I've never really done fucked up shit like that, but I did give cocaine to a tarantula one time.
Dude, I'm so glad we're not live right now. Did we get to the end and then forget that we were not?
No. This is just the way it is sometimes when you're like 18 years old and you're like, oh, dude,
In Oklahoma,
in the country,
99 degrees.
and you have tarantulas, dude. We remember when this is how dumb we were. We used to shoot
What's up, Johnny?
bottle rockets at each other.
Before you say that though, how did the tarantula react? The spastic.
So
how did it ingest it? Like, did you?
Right, so first of all, I got the I put some cocaine in there and didn't do anything, right?
Allegedly.
Yeah. Allegedly put some cocaine and didn't do anything. So I was like, how do I do it? So I got some water.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a lot. I wasn't gonna kill it. I was just, experimenting. And I'm like, put some water in there, and the tarantula went over and drank it, and then just walked around in circles for like, I don't know, like 2 hours.
Wow. So about the cocaine bear, and I've recently been seeing people talk about cocaine shark, which is like, I guess they're saying that so much cocaine has been dumped off the coast of Florida that now they did like this experiment and they like wrapped these bales like to look like cocaine. Yeah. And they dropped them in the water, and they said the sharks started swarming it, and it's like they think the sharks are getting into the cocaine. Now we have cocaine tarantula. Dude.
No, I mean, again, this is allegedly, guys, dude. And this is so many years ago. I can't even count, and I would never admit it to my own children. But you guys aren't my children. I love you guys. So
yeah, I read it in a book one time, and I just started saying it was me.
Listen, I did a lot of stuff.
All right, so
a lot of stuff on that property in Edmond, Oklahoma, over by Deer Creek. If you guys know Oklahoma. The Deer Creek area, man, some good times there.
178th Street, I think, 172nd.
Yeah, 172nd, 192nd, 192nd.
Yeah,
192nd.
Between Rockwell and MacArthur.
Yeah. Used to get into all the type of shit in the world that you can imagine, guys.
One time I tried to plant a ton of weed plants back there, and I think none of them took, bro.
No doubt. That was back in the Schwag.
I think, Schwag
years, and we would get
Blake was saving up seeds for us, and we were planting
Blake. Them. That's right.
Nothing.
Thanks,
bro.
Blake. Nothing hit, man.
Unless if Malones are listening, if you ever find any weed plants, let us know, and that'll mean that we did do something.
We want to collect on those weed plants.
We want our take. Jesus, that was like 1,500 seeds. Okay.
Oh my god, dude. But that property is like definitely the first place we took shrooms and all the other
Jared?
stuff above. Man, we used to like. I didn't know if it was a cat one time and ended up being a possum. That was interesting. You don't know what you're seeing sometimes. Everything's blurred.
You're able to tell about the bottle rockets. That was a fun experience. But...
yeah, the bottle rockets. So we did some bottle rockets, and then we got a rocket. Brian and I.
You pinch one in your asshole, and then you shoot it. Is that the story, Dave?
We did just a lot of fucked up shit, man. We're unbridled.
We had too much time on our hands.
We were homeschooled.
And now you understand more about why we are the way we are.
Man, listen, I want to throw this out there. I know we've been fucking around for a little while here, but when people get on here and it's like, if you guys were just a little bit more professional and looked a little bit more professional and sounded more professional, you guys' insight's amazing. Like those people, right? Like I understand where you guys are coming from, and I applaud that, but that's just not who Mark and I are. We're just not. We'll never be those guys. And I just want to keep on acting the way I am. And if one day somebody's like, "Oh, you guys are amazing. We want you to be part of our $1 billion brand," then that's cool. But at this point in my life, fuck all that, man. I'm just enjoying being around you guys, being around Mark, talking Oklahoma City Thunder. I mean, listen, it's what we do. Like Mark and I will go and hang out with each other and we talk Thunder. And it's like, it's just our thing. Like, and it's fun to be able to share that with you guys.
Yeah, dude. It's a really fun thing to look forward to. July is almost over, bro. I'm pumped. It was a crazy ass month for me. The summer is almost over. The summer will be nice when it's over, dude. It's over 100 every day here, and I'm
up,
hoping
Wyatt?
for a fresh start coming this fall. I love it when the air gets cool, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about this Thunder season.
It's gonna be
Kaysen,
fun.
Micic, Chet. This is going to be an amazing year for the new guys. But the second year guys, the third year guys, they get to show up. I mean, for me, Jdub, we started talking about him, but just everything in practice. Can you imagine the difference in intensity he's going to do all
Hmm.
training camp with? He's instead of just being there, like you said, freshmen don't talk. He's going to be there and be like, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to improve it every time I do every one of these drills, and I'm going to be a vocal leader. We're going to get a different version of all these guys, and that's what pumps me up about this season as much as anything. What's up, Jaden?
I want to before we get going, Mark. There's two new Worldwide Thunder family people we want
Oh
to throw up there,
yeah.
but I want to say this because I look at J Dub. There's two type of players. You got the players like J Dub, like Shea, like Dort that go out and they work out off season and they get back to like incredible, amazing shape, right, man? And then there's players like Ant and Zion that gain a shit ton of weight off the off season, you know? And yeah, they work it out by the end of the season. But to me, I look at this and say, like, those are the type of people that when we draft these guys that are willing to do whatever it takes. I mean, look at J Dub's body, man. That does not come from 30 minutes of workout a day. That comes from 8 hours of workout a day, 12 hours of workout a day. Like, dude is putting in hard hours into his body because he recognizes what we got something special in Oklahoma, man. And that's what's so great. Jared, I am never in Oklahoma. Mark, though, I say never, but I'll probably end up going there in the next 2 years. But Mark is
I
in
was there about a
Oklahoma.
month ago, and right now I'm in Austin, and I might be back in Oklahoma in 2 months, a
Yeah.
little less. But yeah, I'm not sure when, but I should be back pretty soon, Jared, for sure. Um,
Oh, Jared, hell yeah, brother.
hell yeah, dude.
Welcome to the Worldwide Thunder family, man.
And shout out to
Yes.
George Goodwin and Nicholas Taylor. They also joined the family not too long ago.
And
We love you
Jaden, too,
guys.
man. He was a brand new guy, too. So
Jaden is absolutely brand new too, so we appreciate you. And Jared, once again, welcome to the family. We have a lot of fun with this, and um, we're just seeing what happens, man. Because um, we enjoy hanging out, we enjoy watching the games, and
we've
it's
got the
been a little
call-in
bit.
show, guys, that we do every morning. You guys are welcome on there. And when we do games, we're going to be doing call-in during the games. You guys can come and watch the game with us for a little bit, and get in sync with our game, and then watch it with us. These are the things that we want to do and bring to you guys because to us, it's, again, we don't live in Oklahoma. It's about all this. You know, we're creating something that's beautiful here for you guys. So, yeah, same channel right here, man. We will be at the beginning of every chat. If you look in every chat, you'll see me pop on there and put a website. That's the call in. Click it anytime you want.
I forgot to pin it.
No, but
We're
you're
about
good.
to jump off right now. I just pinned it up there. You guys can save it. It's the same call-in for the future. Grab
Anytime
that.
you want to call in, talk
Make sure
about
you
anything, guys.
download
Need
the
family
app or
advice.
whatever you need to do and jump on. We're still working out some of the technical difficulties. Shout out to Unk. We love you, man. Can't wait to talk
Keep
to you
coming
again.
back, man.
You always elevate the conversation, and we appreciate that. So we will figure out everything. But once again, we love you guys, and we will see you soon.